my lovelies, welcome back to another Emmy Eats. Today I'll be eating Israel. So, this will be the 5th time I've eaten Israel. If you've missed my previous 4 installments, I shall direct you down to the description box and, links above and stuff. So I received this little package from Little Miss M. Little Miss M, thanks so much for sending me this package, and thanks so much for your patience. Here's my little public service announcement. This package was sent to me from Israel. I'm calling it Israel because that's where it was sent for me from. It does not display my political intentions, wills, beliefs, or anything like that about what may be happening in this area. I just want to make that clear because I get a lot of comments saying otherwise, a lot of judgments being passed, but this is really about me eating food from different parts of the world that were sent to me by awesome, awesome viewers, and me tasting it for the first time. So, on that note, let's eat. First, let's begin with this. Do you see this? It says for big boy and baby boy. She made me little craft things. Look at these things! Look at this. Thanks so much, Little Miss M. They are super, super adorable. This is called prihonim. Prihonim, which translates to crunchies. They look like mini little rice cakes. Let's give them a taste. Here we go. And they taste identical to rice cakes that we'd find here in the States. Light, airy, crunchy, toasted, and just ever so slightly sweetened. Very familiar flavor. And because this is slightly sweetened, it tastes a bit like cereal, kind of like Corn Smacks. Not that sweet, but lightly sweetened. Not bad. And this is called Pita Crunch. And this is Zatar seasoned pita bits, but baked in an oven till crunchy. She says she used to make these homemade from leftover pita as a kid. Zatar is a dried herb mix with sesame seeds, sumac, salt, and olive oil. And they're all different sizes. Here's a kind of rectangle piece. Let's give them a taste. Great crunch. Lightly salted, but tons of herby flavor. And the herbs to me taste a little bit like thyme, a little bit like oregano, and there's like a nice toasted flavor to it. Pretty good. And this is called tropit, and this is a childhood favorite, and this looks a lot like a Capri Sun that you would find here in the States. She said you typically puncture it through the top, but that can be tricky, so oftentimes it's punctured through the bottom, just like Capri Suns here in the States. We usually have a little kind of like circle with like a foil patch, but I don't really see one, so I will attempt to do it the correct way. Like that, and puncture it without getting it everywhere. Alright, let's give it a taste. Whoa! That's super sweet. I don't really like it. It's super sweet and tastes very, very artificial, but a lot like those kind of punchy drinks you used to drink as a kid that came in those little plastic containers. But yeah, throws me back to my childhood, but not really my favorite. But at least I can open these kind of Capri Sun pouches without getting it everywhere. Uyot Mizrahiyot means Eastern cookie. I'm sorry, that's what it says. More commonly known as abádi. Slightly salty cookie is very good with tea or black coffee. Traditionally Middle Eastern. My grandmother used to make these at home. Amazing. Grammy's cookies are always the best. They're like little bagel cookies. Cute and mini and tiny. And they've got a little bit of sesame in there. They smell fried. A bit like the cruller that I had in Inner Mongolia. And they actually taste very similar to the cruller that I had in Inner Mongolia. They taste fried, and has a little bit of sesame seed in there for a little bit of added texture and kind of a nutty, toasted flavor. But actually, more of a savory snack in my opinion, rather than sweet. I think they'd be delicious dipped in some milky tea. And these are very popular chocolate coins, often given to children during Hanukkah. Oh, they're money from all different parts of the world, because I know that, boy. Yeah, that would be a penny from the United States of America. Look at that. This is money from all over the world before the euro took over. These are 5 francs. Yeah, Helvetica. Yes, I love that font. US represent. Yep, we have another US coin. $50. There's a strong US showing. Here we have a quarter. What else do we got? We have Denmark, another kroner. That's cool, a little bit of education there. So the way these work, is we're going to separate these two halves here. In one of my Emmy Eats Mexico videos, I ate some chocolate candies as well. I think it was called monedas. Alright, itadakimasu. And it's nice and melty milk chocolate. That actually tastes like real chocolate rather than being a compound chocolate. That combination of materials of melty chocolate and metal foil always reminds me of Easter. It just does. So this is called Pezek Zeman Halva. It's milk chocolate and wafer and halva cream. So halva is sesame paste. It has a basketball on it. Wow! It's a very, very sweet coating of chocolate. And inside is this really wonderful kind of crunchy bit in the middle of rolled up kind of wafer. It has a very strong taste of halva. It tastes more like halva rather than chocolate. And for those of you that don't know what halva is a confectionery that's made out of sesame seeds. And I like the texture, really fun and crunchy. Kind of similar to a Butterfinger, but not peanut butter, of course. This is a date spread. It's often served as a cake or pastry filling. And there it is. Alright, here we go. And it is very sweet and tastes just like dates. If you've never had dates before, you're in for a real treat. They're just an amazing source of natural sweetness. I think this would make a delicious date shake mixed with a little bit of yogurt and maybe some ice and blend it up. I think it would be a delicious little smoothie. This is called Pita and it's sesame paste. This sounds like it's like tahini, which is a spread or a sauce that's made out of sesame paste. So it sounds very liquid. I'm going to give it a shake. Make sure it's not separated. It smells great. Here we go. Wow. It's actually bitter. I wasn't expecting that. It tastes like halva without any added sugar. It's very rich and nutty and toasted. This will be great in my hummus. So it says it's Bazooka Joe, which is a gum that we have here in the States, but this definitely looks like an Israeli brand, so not sure. Let's see. And it looks just like the gum that we have here in the States, Bazooka Joe gum, wrapped in this waxed paper. And inside there's this hard pink gum, and it has a little comic. So I can't read what that says, but I'm sure it's hilarious. And it tastes exactly how I remember. Very sweet and has that flavor of bubblegum, which is very nostalgic for me, but it's actually not one of my favorite flavors. But yeah, that's Bazooka Joe. Alright, so that wraps up my little taste of Israel. Thanks, little Miss Em, so much for sending me this package and sharing a little bit of your childhood with us. The last thing I tasted was gum, so let me know in the comments below what your favorite gum chewing habits are, because I want to know. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye! And here's the finished Plonic bar. Couldn't be any easier than that. Look at that, doesn't that look gorgeous? All I ever wanted was a pair of teeth. All I have is a baby, baby.